Hey guys, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. My name is Juliet, if you see my lovely face for the first time. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the tasks that can make you pass the PTE reading. Yeah, so we know that the PTE reading is a third task in the PTE exam, okay? So we have the speaking, we have the writing, then we have the reading. Now for the speaking and the writing, which are the first session of the exam, your time is kind of being managed by the computer. That's the way it's set up. But for the reading and the listening, you would have to manage your time yourself, which is very important. Okay, so there's need for you to prepare before you get into the exam hall, and that is how you know the amount of time you're going to allot to the different tasks in the PTE reading. Now, before I go ahead, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up because it will get to the people that need it more. All right, let's get started. Now, for you to pass the PTE reading, you have to start passing it from the PTE speaking. How do I mean? So the PTE speaking, and there's a task there called the read aloud, which is one of the most important tasks in the PTE exam. Okay, so if you really begin to read very well, if you take that task seriously, it's going to impact your reading score. Yeah. Then when you go to the reading module, there are certain tasks that are not really essential, that won't really impact your reading score so much, like the multiple choice questions. So you're going to take the task in the speaking, read aloud very seriously, and then you hop onto the major task in the reading. Now there's also a task in the listening that can also add about 10 points or 10 marks to your reading. And we're going to talk about it all in this video. Now, if you're new to my channel, it's very essential you watch the other videos because it's going to tell you the things that you need to do. Now, I could be taking a few examples of the read aloud, how you can read it, or you can watch an old video of mine. I've demonstrated how to go about the read aloud. Now, a lot of people say that they find it very difficult to read in such a way that they can get a high score in the PTE read aloud. Now, the read aloud is not difficult. It's just for you to observe that there's a certain way you need to read, especially your fluency and your pronunciation. Now, the content is not so essential. However, it adds like 3 marks to your score, which is not bad, okay? So if you have like 6 to 7 of the read aloud, it's going to impact your score greatly for the reading module. Now, it's very important to pass the reading module because the reading module as well would impact your writing score. The first task in the PTE reading, which is the reading and writing fill in the blanks, would impact your writing score. Hence the name, reading and writing fill in the blanks. Now, I was teaching someone the reading and writing fill in the blanks recently, and he said it's actually very difficult. And I said, it's not like it's so difficult. If you've been reading a lot of books and watching some kind of movies, you should be able to get most of the answers in the blank. Now, because they want you to have a good knowledge of grammar. Now, you know, some questions would be things like this, like must have not, you know, I've had this kind of thing, those kind of stuff. And if you understand it, it's very easy for you to pass. So the reading and writing fill in the blank is very essential. If you want to pass the PTE reading, you have to understand how it works. You have to have a good knowledge of grammar, like I have mentioned earlier. You have to have a good knowledge of vocabulary. You also have to have a good knowledge of collocations, which are a group of words that go together. Things like general public, fast food, quick shower, you know, things like that, making the bed, do the dishes. There are things you need to know because they kind of are repeated in the reading and writing fill in the blanks. Then above all, I would say common sense. People will say, Juliet, is actually not common like you look at it. Now, there are certain things that you need to look at like holistically, and then you understand that, oh, this shouldn't even be here. Yeah, I mean, the more I teach PTE, the more I see that it's actually not as difficult as people would paint it. Well, maybe if you're writing the exam for the first time, I'm sorry, I'm making it look like it's a stroll in the park. But maybe because I've been teaching it for quite some number of years now, and I don't look at it as being like a very difficult task. Okay, now what you need to do is know what is expected of you, which is very important. I can't like talk about that a lot. Now, have a good understanding of vocabulary and grammar, but the most important thing is common sense. That means that if you read this sentence, you should be able to tell yourself, no, this option can be here. Now, I try to use the elimination method. The elimination method is, since there are four tasks in the drop down button, that's for reading and writing fill in the blank, I'm going to eliminate 2 options that I know that can never fit into the blank. Then I'll be left with 2 options, and then I would go for the best one that I know that will fit in. And the truth is that there are really no shortcut like 100% per se. I know I see a lot of videos say, oh, there's shortcut. If you see a TO before this, it should be here. If you see this before this, it should be the ing verb. Those things are wonderful. But these days, have you noticed that the owners of the exam person will actually intentionally put the first forms of verb as the options? So what do? That's where common sense comes in, okay? Or they go ahead and put the ing verb or the ed verb for all of the options. What do? So that's why I say common sense is important. When you read the sentence, you should be able to tell yourself, oh, these 2, because there are usually 4 options. These 2 can be here, but these 2, I will try and pick the best option from them. So those are the things you need to know about the reading and writing fill in the blanks. So I've mentioned the read aloud, the reading and writing fill in the blanks. The next task that will help boost your reading score will be the reading fill in the blanks. Now this one is not sharing its score with any other module or any other task. So it's just going to be, if you pass it, you pass it. Okay. Now what happens here is that in between the sentences, you will see blank, or before the sentence starts, you would see a blank. And then there will be options below the paragraph or the question. And they will give you usually more options than there are blanks. You can only use one option to fill in the blank. You can't have one option appearing twice. You have it only once. Again, knowledge of collocation, knowledge of grammar, knowledge of vocabulary. These are important. Again, common sense. I can't talk about common sense enough. If you read the sentence, you should be able to tell yourself, okay, I think this is what should be here, and not just what I have learned. This is what should be here. Imagine talking about photography and then you see things like topography or erosion. Of course, they can't fit in there. So you should tell yourself that, no, I won't be deceived. This is what should be here. Okay, so reading fill in the blank is another task where you have 4 or 5 of this kind of question on your test day, and all the scores you get there will stay with the reading module. So you can see it's adding a conspicuous score to the reading module. Now we look at the reorder paragraph. The reorder paragraph is marked in pairs. I've done a video on it before. I would link it in the description below this video, or I'll link in the description so you can go have a look at it. I talked about pairs. Now, if it's difficult for you, maybe because you're in an exam hall and you're a bit tense, but difficult for you to reorder the paragraphs in their right order, please look for pairs. Okay, looking for pairs, you can never be wrong. What I'm saying is, or what I mean in essence is, you can't get 0. The only time you get 0 is when you don't choose pairs. But once you choose pairs, you should be able to get 1/3, 2/3, or even 3/3. Or you get 4/4, as the case may be. So reorder paragraph, especially if you're aiming to get 79, you should be able to make sure you understand how this task is done. Now, go through my channel. I've done some videos on reorder paragraph, and it's also going to help you pass the reading, because it's not going to share its scores with any other module or task. All the scores you get from the reorder paragraph will actually go to the reading score. Now, that takes me to the multiple choice questions. People say, Juliet, I've been trying to pass the multiple choice questions. Some of the questions look so long. I want to burst your bubble. You don't really need the multiple choice questions. They do not add a lot of scores to your exam, like 1 mark, 2 marks. But the most important task for the reading scores are the ones I have mentioned. Okay, now let's go over to listening. I did mention in the start of this video that there's a task in the listening that can add about 10 marks to your reading, and that is the highlight incorrect words. That's the second to the last task in the listening module. Okay, so if you take that task seriously, it's not difficult. It's just for you to read alongside with your cursor while the audio is going on. Read with your cursor. If you read your cursor, you will not miss out some of the options. I know some of the reading is really very fast, but it doesn't stop the fact that if you read along with your cursor, you should be able to get the words that the audio misplaced or changed. Okay, so these are the tasks that can help you pass the PTE reading. And if you're aiming for a really high score in the PTE reading, then you can talk about the summarized written test. Then you can also try to do the multiple choice questions. That way you should be able to get 79 or 90, which is the highest score. Is it possible to get 90 in the reading? Very, very, very possible. You can't get 90 in the reading. So what I have said here is the read aloud, the reading and writing fill in the blanks, reading fill in the blanks, reorder paragraphs, highlighting correct words. These are things that will put you at a very good spot like getting a high score for the PTE reading. Then you can consider summarize written test and maybe the multiple choice questions. If you do all these tasks, just the way I've mentioned, you should be able to get a high score in the PTE reading. PTE reading is quite easier than the other English tests that I don't want to mention. For me, that's my opinion, okay? Yeah, so that's it for the end of this video. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section. I will surely respond to you. And remember to like this video. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And find me on Instagram at English_prep class and on Facebook at English Prep Class. Above all, if you're looking for a free website to practice on, you can go on to www.englishprepclass.com.au. That's the reading website that you can practice on. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.